The rise and fall of PewDiePie. What happens when the biggest YouTuber in the world decides to step back just as the platform changes forever? People used to say, YouTube? Doesn't that only work for cat videos? That one Swedish player chose to make noises that didn't make sense while playing horror games and became the internet's king. Felix Arvid Ulf Kjellberg is his real name, but his millions of fans and parents who don't understand call him PewDiePie. As a hobby turned into a movement in culture, then an empire, a scandal, a feud, and finally a calmer life in Japan with more sushi and fewer scary movies. As of April 29, 2010, PewDiePie was just a guy with a camera and a lot of yelling. Felix first posted videos of himself playing video games, mostly scary games like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. His loud reactions and silly humor got the attention of people who wanted to laugh and feel good about seeing someone else scream in fear. This is what made the Let's Play genre what it is today, a mix of games, comments, and in Felix's case, complete nonsense. PewDiePie went from being a poor student who sold hot dogs to buy recording gear, yes, really, to having the most subscribers on YouTube by 2013. He got more views than sites like Smosh and Jenna Marbles because yelling at monsters seems more relatable than sketch comedy. Now you're stupid. Not only did he have the most subscribers, but he also had the most views, over 7.7 billion, by the end of 2014. It's not clear if his parents were happy or just really confused. The man was in charge either way. Nobody was better than PewDiePie on YouTube from 2014 to 2016. He was a brand, not just a YouTuber. His number of subscribers went through the roof, and in 2015, he became the first channel to get 10 billion views overall. 10 billion. That's more views than your grandmother said back in my day. Felix also started writing about things other than scary games. He did vlogs, comedy skits, comments, and even had his own YouTube Red show called Scare PewDiePie. He was put in real-life scary situations for this show as a kind of punishment for all the times he laughed at people dying in Dark Souls. It's too bad that the YouTube system started acting up around this time. Views started going down across the board, creators moaned about how they weren't getting paid consistently, and Felix himself was upset that even he, a huge star on YouTube, wasn't safe. When you ask for your favorite pizza, you get salad instead. It's still food, but who wants that? PewDiePie found out the hard way in 2017 that snarky humor doesn't always work if you pay people on Fiverr to hold insulting signs as a joke. The Wall Street Journal showed clips of Felix that seemed to cross the line between comedy and insensitivity. One famous example was when two men in India held up signs that said, "Death to all Jews." But the internet wouldn't believe Felix. They said the jokes were just meant to make fun of how far people would go for money, not to spread hate. Right away, Disney's Maker Studios cut ties with him, YouTube canceled Season 2 of Scare PewDiePie, and the site kicked him off its special ad program. YouTube basically told them, "It's not you, well, it is you." Felix said sorry and made it clear what he meant, but the damage was already done. He had a group of loyal fans that he lovingly called the 9-year-old army. But the mainstream media saw him as controversial, and in some places, toxic. This taught us an important lesson. You shouldn't talk about something just because you can. Even more so when billions of people are watching, some of whom own newspapers. Break for a bad joke. Why did PewDiePie do something wrong? He didn't follow common sense, that's why. Get it? Sign up for, yes, we'll make it. The PewDiePie vs. T-Series saga caused a huge rise in popularity from 2018 to 2019. Thanks to India's mobile data boom, T-Series, a huge Indian music label, was quickly getting more users. It said it would take PewDiePie's spot as the most subscribed channel, and everyone on the internet went to war. It turned into a meme movement, not just a numbers game. PewDiePie put out a diss track called Bitch Lasagna that went viral online. Some people said it was racist, but fans fought back harder than ever. Mr. Beast made a lot of noise by advertising PewDiePie on radio and signs. They even broke into video games, websites, and printers to get the word out. Subscribe to PewDiePie. The two stations took turns being #1 for a few months. PewDiePie put out another diss track called Congratulations, which congratulated T-Series in a mocking way. The song made fun of Indian censorship and business culture, and it was banned in India. Of course. By April 2019, it was clear what would happen. When T-Series finally got ahead, PewDiePie made a video in which he admitted loss with class and a good dose of sarcasm. He lost the title, but the internet still loves him. What do PewDiePie and Thanos have in common? That was a bad joke break. They both broke and lost something important. PewDiePie moved on to a new phase after the T-Series. His number of subscribers stopped going up around 110 to 111 million. Even though it was still very important, fewer people were watching. Videos that used to get 20 million views now only got 2 to 3 million. Still more than the people that live in some countries, but for YouTube, that was a change. PewDiePie slowed down too. After uploading every day for years, he took a break to take care of his mental health, marry his longtime girlfriend Marja, and then start a family. He started a vlog after moving to Japan and started posting more personal stories and trip videos. Also, the formula wasn't as nice anymore. YouTube started to like shorts and uploading a lot of videos. There were new creators who shared more than once a day, and they often did it with whole teams. It was no longer enough to have one guy, one mic, and a chair. People who liked him said that he deserved to rest. He had finally chosen peace over pixels after 10 years of uploads, fights, and challenges. In the middle of 2025, PewDiePie's channel was no longer one of the top 10 most subscribed on YouTube. This was the first time in 12 years that it had happened. His throne, which used to be the highest, was now filled by creators who focus on shorts, K-pop fan channels, and corporate content that is optimized for search engines. Still, getting 110 million members and almost 30 billion views isn't easy. His movies kept getting millions of views, but not as many as they used to. That was fine. Life is more than numbers, as Felix himself seemed to say in his vlogs. Break for a bad joke. Why did PewDiePie drop out of the top 10? Because everyone needs a rest mode. Okay, so what happened? It's not so much a sadness that PewDiePie has fallen, as it is a change. The change was caused by a few main things: competition and content volume. He couldn't keep up with the daily uploads of mega networks like T-Series or Shorts producers who post while they brush their teeth. YouTube changed its rules to favor new artists, shorter videos, and trends that get a lot of clicks. PewDiePie's more personal and slower movies didn't always get pushed. Burnout and priorities. Felix decided to put health, family, and real-life happiness first after years of high-energy content and public pressure. It turns out that even kings need breaks. What caused the controversy in 2017? Even though it didn't end his career, it changed how brands and sites treated him for good. It was like getting a yellow card on the internet, but on a very large field. There's no doubt that PewDiePie changed the internet, whether you liked him, didn't like him, or just watched his videos to put off doing your homework. He helped explain what it meant to be a content producer. He made Let's Plays famous, inspired thousands of creators, and showed that a person's personality could be enough to take over a global platform without any help from a company. Also, he told us that not all numbers are important, that taking a step back is fine. Sometimes being real is better than being polished, and that balls of fire are sometimes really the enemy. Break for a bad joke. What did PewDiePie say to YouTube before he quit? Bro fist, but make it a soft goodbye. PewDiePie's story is like a modern myth. He started out small, but quickly rose to fame, fought people, faced criticism, was forgiven, and finally had a quiet finish. He faded not because he failed, but because he decided to. Felix did something very different. He let go. This was in a time when everyone was always busy. He's not #1 on the platform anymore, but to many, he's still the face of a time when one guy with a camera could make everyone laugh, think, get angry, and sometimes cry, mostly from laughter, but sometimes from embarrassment. It doesn't matter if you still watch him or not. He will always be the king of the 9-year-old army, and yelling at barrels might be the only job that could make that happen. Hey, what else is success? Like the journey? Smash that subscribe button to join the squad. From gaming legends to digital icons, we dive deep into the stories that shape the internet, and there's way more coming. Don't miss it.